So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a Bradford White 50-gallon natural gas water heater. This is the high input that requires the 4-inch venting up top. And it used to be over here in the corner. And you can see that that platform's got some damage going on. Additionally, the venting came from over here about 3 feet horizontal, and that's against code now. So we moved it. We relocated it. Built you a nice little stand here. And that's solid. You know, one of my first trades was construction framing, so that's framed real solid. Plus, for structural support, all 4 sides is the OSB board. That's not going anywhere. Then a full 3/4 top, and then some cement board, hardy backer board on top. Tile guys use it for moisture in showers, and that's on top. In the event you want to come in later and sheetrock it, you certainly can. You just have the 1, 2, 3, walls right here. And then some corner bead. We did go ahead and squirt some of the expanding foam underneath, just so you don't have pests crawling underneath and getting underneath the platform. So that's sealed. Additionally, if you wanted to, you could come in and run some caulking around the corners right here and get that sealed. But so platform is in. One of the things we did need to do, besides all the piping needs to get moved, let's start with the gas. So that gas line, we moved it over. It's a 4-foot nipple in there. Got a shutoff valve. That's a secondary valve. Reason being is we need to air test the line. We need to isolate it from the home. So valve here, and then of course valve on this side, and then a drip leg or a dirt leg down there. That's where we would test if we would have to. So we'd shut that valve off, put a gauge on it, and then go ahead and pump it up to 10 pounds and let the inspector take a look at it. Brand new gas valve, brand new supply line over to the water heater. And then of course upper and lower third, you've got the adjustable strap. That's code and contract. And then this, like I say, this is the high input. So we've got space heating. This goes up to the furnace. Hot water goes up and back down and provides heat for the home. So down on the bottom right here, you've got the return line. Got a little union in here. So solid brass. We don't like to use iron pipe on anything. So solid brass coming out, brass 90. And then up to a union that makes a transition from threaded pipe to copper pipe, and then a shutoff valve. So full port ball valve. This is out of Ferguson. It's ProFlow, and so full port on and off. That's it. Quarter turn on and off. So that's good. And then piping over to the existing. So pipe used to tie in right here with the corrugated copper supply lines, and all of this piping was over here. So now we've run it across the back, kept it tight, insulated it, and so that's good. One on the top. That's the supply. So it comes out of the unit. This goes up to the furnace, over to there, and then when it comes back down, that's where it comes back. And so it's just a circulation. It just goes in a big loop and around. This one is required to have a check valve. So we left a little bit of insulation off just so you can see it. I should have left it off on the bottom so the inspector can see it. But there is a check valve in there, full spring check. So that's installed, that's good. And again, solid brass coming out, and then the dielectric union, and then quarter turn on for the valve, quarter turn off and on. And then of course we're insulated all the way over to the wall. So the space heating is done up and back into the wall. That's all good. Now up here, this is where the water used to be for the home. Hot water, so cold water was here, hot water was there, just tied in. So piping that over to some corrugated stainless steel supply lines. We put ball valves on both of these. So these guys, if you ever want to do any work on this, quarter turn off, quarter turn on. So you're good. Same thing with this, quarter turn off, quarter turn on. That's good. And these are Falcon stainless steel supplies. These are the biggest in the industry, 0.725 inside diameter. We like these. They're ultra flexible, and we've been using these a while. Haven't had any trouble with them, so we're going to continue to use those. Solid brass construction here. So once we, copper, brass, stainless steel down to a little brass extension. Same thing up there. It's insulated right now, so you can't see it, but it's identical to this side. So shut off, brass, corrugated stainless steel. Then of course 4-inch venting, all brand new, up to the existing ceiling bucket. That's not ours, but draft diverter, adjustable 90, short piece of pipe. So that's all tied in, 3 screws around the perimeter. So you've got each one you're required to do a little triangular, so 1, 2, 3 screws on each joint, and that keeps it from falling apart. And then of course the relief line. So we used the CPVC, which is code, and so it's a full inside 3/4 diameter, union here, which is required within 12 inches of the relief valve. This you can pop off once a year to make sure it's functioning correctly. This is the most important part of the water heater. It relieves temperature and or pressure. If you can't relieve temperature and or pressure, this thing could launch to the ceiling, so never cap this off. So it goes in and ties back into the existing line out there. Everything's strapped. Everything looks good. The burner is lit and going. It's lit again. It did heat through a cycle. They've used some water, so the burner's back on again. But like I say, this recovers. It'll heat a whole tank in 30 minutes, so shouldn't ever have any trouble with with hot water here. So everything looks good. This is your model number, serial number. You can go to bradfordwhite.com. You can see here the URG 250H6N, and then of course your serial number. Give them your full name, street address. Give them this information. Get your warranty going. And outside of that, this installation is done.